Check out the whip for today. Oh my gosh, bruh. H2 M1000 combo. And we're both going to be dropping back? No, I don't know if I got one. Alright, so today we're here with Nion ZX6R.
What up? What up?
This is the guy who sells the LED backpacks. And we got some super cool bikes today. We got an H2 and an M1000. What is this guy's Instagram?
Yeah.
So shout out to this guy for letting me whip the M. I have permission to wheelie it as well. Holy crap, this thing is tall.
Dude, they're so tall, dude. They're so tall. Like,
he was like flat footing it yesterday, so I thought it like maybe not, I was like, oh, like I think last time I sat on an M it wasn't that tall, but it must just be, he must be way taller than me because I'm tippy toeing. We're gonna get out of this neighborhood and then we're gonna pretty much start the video, but we're basically gonna be interviewing Nion today on his business. Oh yeah. This guy's got big hands. I can like barely reach his brake.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Alright guys, so today in Colorado it is actually pretty chilly and windy. It's about 20 to 25 mile an hour gusts of wind. It's about 55 degrees, which isn't bad for Colorado, but the wind definitely makes it a little bit chilly. We got Jared on the beautiful M today, and I'm on the H2. And we're going to be doing a little bit of a moto vlog, which I've personally never done before. Jared is very familiar, but this is my first time. Oh, we got another bike here.
I love how the H2 looks from like third person point of view, but rider point of view, I feel like it looks kind of ugly. It's like just so wide.
I don't know, when it's up in the air like this, I think it looks pretty good.
Oh yeah, it does. So first of all, like, tell us a little bit about your business and what you sell.
Yeah, so my company's named is Nion Gear. People say I pronounce it wrong, but I did make the company, so I do kind of get to decide, but it was kind of named after the Nion cat. I don't know if people remember, but in the early 2000s, the Nion cat was one of the most, maybe the first meme that really came out. And for some reason, I thought it would be funny to name my company after that, because that's kind of what I started posting when I started my channel. But the company is Nion Gear, and we sell customizable LED accessories for motorcycle riders, as well as some other fun stuff like roadside toolkits and mini air compressors. But the main product is obviously the LED backpack that you guys may or may not have seen, you know, Jared and Jixabra and some other guys wearing. And then we recently, within the last 4 months, came out with a LED leg bag. So it's just a bag that sits on your hip, and it's also got an LED screen on it as well.
Is he flashing us for cops?
I don't know. It could be cops. It could be just because he likes bikes. You never know. This turn up here is actually very fun when it's when the ground conditions are good. In the winter in Colorado, because it snows, they put a lot of salt on the road, which makes it actually pretty slippery. So you don't want to end up going really fast on a turn, and you'll slide out. But this is a fun turn for that. Hopefully this cop doesn't give us any issues, but we should be good.
I think he stayed there. Yeah. Tell him how old you are, by the way, too, because I think that's one of the most impressive things.
I'm 22 years old, and believe it or not, this is actually my 12th company that I've started. So a lot of people think, you know, oh, this is his first company, and, you know, he just sold a ton of these backpacks and he doesn't have to work, you know, whatever. But throughout my college, I did 2 years of college, and I started 12 companies in college. A lot of different marketing and software companies that ended up not doing very well. I had a workout clothing company, tried to start a supplement company. So I've just kind of tried everything until something stuck. And then once I had one of my businesses doing well enough in my second year of college, I was able to drop out.
So how much involvement do you have in the company? I know you have 2 employees who help you like pack boxes and do customer service and advertisements and stuff. What's like the main stuff that you do?
Yeah, so in terms of employees, we're going to take it right up here, but in terms of employees, I actually have about 6 to 8 employees that are all pretty, 2 of them are full-time, but other than that, they're pretty part-time employees, from email marketing, running the Facebook and Instagram ads, and then we have obviously the people who help me reach out to other businesses to try to get our products in stores. Right now we're in about 8 stores. And yeah, so but what my involvement in the company is obviously helping scale the company. So in terms of getting into new niches, filming content, going to events and selling backpacks in person, I'm kind of just the brains behind the operation, and then I try to find the best person that would be able to run that, like my employees, and I give them those jobs. But kind of just overseeing and I guess managing everyone, and kind of trying to figure out what the best way to get the company to the next level is in terms of the motorcycle community, making add-ons for the backpack to make them more rider friendly, that kind of thing.
Dang, what kind of car is that? It looked cool.
That was the white one or the blue one?
The white one. I think was that a Honda or Acura or something? I don't remember.
I don't know. I'm not really a car guy.
But yeah, so how many backpacks have you sold, do you think, so far?
We've sold a little over 10,000 backpacks, and that's in over 30 countries, obviously majority inside of the US, but we have sold to dozens of other countries other than the US. So probably around 10,000 backpacks, and then probably close to 1,000 to 2,000 leg bags. And the company's about a year and a half old, but the first couple months of the company was kind of just building the foundation and kind of really finding the best suppliers to, you know, supply my product for me and make sure the quality is high. So within the last, you know, year and a half, year and 6 months, it's been, you know, around 10,000 backpacks and maybe a couple thousand leg bags so far.
Nice. And how do you go about finding a supplier?
Yeah, so finding suppliers is actually pretty tough, but because of the other businesses I've had in the past with supplements and workout clothing and apparel, that kind of thing, it's definitely gotten easier to find suppliers. But there's many different websites. Obviously, the one that, you know, comes to mind the most is Alibaba, and a lot of people kind of like shit on Alibaba. But the thing about Alibaba is, think of it like an Amazon, but for finding business suppliers. So they each have ratings. They have to post how many products they've sold, the quality and quantity, as well as how many years they've been in business in China or Pakistan, wherever you're looking for. And then once you've found a supplier, you kind of narrow it down from finding 20 different people that can do the job to maybe 4 or 5 that you could see yourself working with. And then from there you get samples from the company, so you'll get 5 or 6 different backpack samples in my case. And then from that 5 to 6 samples, you see which one has the best materials, the highest quality, and then once you choose a company, you can obviously customize it like I've done with, you know, the chest straps and things like that.
Nice. Dang, this wind is freaking blowing me like crazy right now. I'm like literally crooked. I kind of wanted to try to rip a wheelie on this road, but I think it'd be a bad idea.
We may have to do it when it's when we're east and west and not north and south.
Yeah.
We're kind of right over the plains though, so like the wind will come down over the mountains and it'll really blast this part. And actually Colorado's pretty flat from the Rockies to the east. So that's why it gets windy a lot. I'm not sure if it gets that windy in Texas, but because of the mountains, they create storms, and then the wind kind of pushes inland. So
what advice do you have for somebody who's like stuck in a 9-to-5 and kind of wants to find a way to get out of it? Like, how do you think they should get started? And roughly, what do you think it costs to get started?
A good question. So I think in terms of people wanting to start a business, everyone thinks, oh, you need to invest $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 to get a business started. I only put in $3,000 to start Nion Gear. The first time I ever bought a shipment, I only bought 100 backpacks, around 100 backpacks, and invested around $3,000 into the business. So you really don't need a lot of money to get a business started. I mean, I could have even started with less. But if you're in the 9-to-5, I would say the easiest way to start a business is to find a hobby or something that you do all the time, so you kind of have that insider information. And then from there, think, what are things that people would think would be helpful, fun? I think what makes my product so unique is that not only makes you more visible at night and could potentially prevent accidents, but it's also fun and you can completely customize it. So no matter what your political beliefs are, or, you can put anything on the backpack and it's not necessarily towards one person. So that's what's really important, is if you can find a product that's fun, but it's also helpful in some sort, I think those products do really well.
Do you make any money off of like your social media itself, or it's really just from selling the product through your social media?
Contrary to popular belief, everyone thinks, oh, these motorcycle creators make a ton of money off their content. But the matter of the fact is, unless you're someone like Matthew Woods that's producing very long short form content, you're really not going to be making that much. So I would say 99% of my money obviously is made off the business. The most I've ever made on YouTube and socials in a month is probably $2,000 or $3,000, which is a pretty good amount of money, but that's 1 month. Most months creators like me and Jared will make 50 or 100 bucks off of like YouTube and stuff like that. Jared makes a bit more because he does long form YouTube. But yeah, most creators with a couple 100,000 followers are making between like $100 and $1,000 a month just on social media. So it's really not like livable. That's why it's important to either really be good at affiliate codes or start your own product.
Yeah, affiliate codes has been like probably my biggest source of income. Merch is makes a little bit. YouTube is okay here and there. It's just so difficult with getting demonetized. Like for example, my in current time, my last video that I posted of my crash, I thought I could get away with doing an educational breakdown for it, and it stayed monetized for the first 10,000 views, which gave me $67, no pun intended. And then it got demonetized and age restricted, and now up to like 16,000 views. It's basically not made any additional money. So it's like pretty freaking hard in the niche that I've chose. And so that's making me like kind of want to, you know, learn from his advice as well, and like try to see if there's maybe a product that I can come up with aside from just merch, because you know everybody has merch, but if I could really find something more unique to be able to create for people in like my kind of category, it would probably be able to like you go.
By the way, these are we're getting into some canyon roads. I'm taking on canyon roads because we're not going fast, like we're not trying to do anything crazy, but there could be some salt on some of these roads. I'll see if it's salty. I wouldn't go fast on this.
Oh my gosh, he's dragging me.
But that's like a good start to that one. I've almost crashed on going like 110. That one was bad. But these roads are super fun canyon roads. But as I was saying,
I'm gonna pass after this car. I'm being a chicken.
No, you're good. But because Jared is, for example, in the stunt scene, it's probably in his best interest to find a product that would make stunt riders' lives easier or make it easier to stunt. Something like that. That's personally what I would recommend. But yeah, find your niche. And in the motorcycle niche, there's multiple niches in the motorcycle niche. And I've found out that, you know, and this is what people say are like, riches are in the niches, which basically means like you don't need a product that can sell to, you know, everyone in the world. There's millions of people that ride motorcycles in the world. There's a lot of money in there as well. So don't go too wide. If anything, try to make something that only a certain amount of people it would be useful to, and then you're gonna find out that there's more people than you think that are in that niche.
Yeah, so for example, I'd hate to give up my business idea, but after my crash and hurting my ankle pretty bad, I was really appreciative of like how the boots protected my ankle, but I was just kind of still disappointed that like the lack of feeling I have with boots, which like deters me from wanting to use them in the first place. So if I could, you know, try to create a shoe or something that's like has more protection than just a pair of Vans, but has the flexibility at least in the sole of Vans so that I can still feel the foot brake, like that would be like a good example of targeting my niche and like a product that I could create that people may actually enjoy, including myself. But yeah, but honestly, like do you know of any type of jobs, or do you have any friends who like are pretty successful and you would consider like financially free that, you know, work a regular job? Or is it pretty much always like owning a business or like selling some kind of product that gives people like that freedom?
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly the goal is, if you're like working a 9 to 5 and the goal is to like start your own business, the goal is to quit the 9 to 5. So once you're really locked in and grinding on your business, for example,
I'm losing phone service out here.
Like if you start something and it ends up selling, and you sell your first like $5,000 or $10,000 worth of stuff, it's probably worth quitting the job and actually just, you know, putting all of your time and effort into scaling the business.
Yeah, unfortunately we're not on Bluetooth, we're on a call, because I have a Senna out here and he has a Cardo, so we no longer are connected. I don't know when we will be again. So
that's personally like my thing is me and Jared just got disconnected, so I think it's because we're in these canyons. There's not a lot of service.
Man, I wish Texas had stuff like this, like so scenic and like accessible, and obviously as a rider, like I have pretty good control of the bike, but when it comes to the curbs, like despite having a track day, I am still a little like concerned going into them because I don't have consistent practice with it. So I really like, I get a little hesitant when I come up in them.
I don't think there's any service.
Yeah. Do you still want to like do a little bit of canyon ripping or something? And
let's do like, so we got to be careful because like sometimes you'll be going around a corner and it'll be straight sand.
Oh.
So just be careful. We could do like 5 minutes going up and then we could continue and call each other when we get back on the road.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we could just like
good.
talk to each other and then you could end up choosing some clips or whatever.
Okay, yeah, because I definitely don't want to crash the Yam on some sand.
Yeah. We'll do a little bit. We'll go chill.
Alright. So anyway, I guess this will be a little bit of a solo dolo vlog for this section, or maybe we'll still be able to, I don't know, maybe he'll talk about something. Nion doesn't really vlog, so I don't know that he'll really like talk much to himself.
Jared isn't comfortable with these roads yet, so I don't want to do anything obviously that makes him too uncomfortable.
Because his stuff is really all like pretty short for him.
But yeah, I mean the Colorado canyons are like probably the most fun to ride, especially during the summer when all these roads aren't dirty. Get down and drag your knee.
It's interesting, like every time I've tried to give a little wheelie attempt on an M, it seems like it's gonna take so much to get it up. I don't know why it seems like, I don't know, so dang, the sun is kind of blinding me. We're just chilling, we're not gonna go too crazy. Yeah, the sun keeps freaking blinding me though, so that's not fun.
It's important, especially during the winter time. Note that the roads are very cold and your tires are probably, obviously if you haven't been riding for a long time, your tires are probably cold as well. Especially places like this where there's shade and you can't see, there could be a brick of ice in Colorado that's on the road. So on a road like this, I wouldn't necessarily try to get as low as I can just because we don't know, you know, the conditions of it. In the summer, it's easier to predict. But you could tell that in the center of this road, there's just a ton of sand as well on the side, so you got to be really careful. You can see as we get up in elevations, as it's more shady, you can see there's snow like just on the side of the road, and I bet these roads are extremely cold as well. So you can see a ton of sand in the middle. It's really hard to get. You have to really lean over if you want to end up dragging your knee when it's like super sandy out. You got to really get off the bike and not lean your tires over too much.
Damn, he's out here dragging knee. Makes it look so easy, and it's like on the H2, bro, oh my gosh, I can't even barely like, out of all the bikes he has, he's got the 636, CBR 1000 RR, and the H2. The H2 is by far the least comfortable bike that I've like gone through curves with and stuff. Like it doesn't want to lean very good at all, at least not his. And probably big part of it is because of the tire. The tire's pretty flat in the middle, so it's probably got a lot to do with that. But this is pretty cool. This is actually the first day. I've been out here for, what is today, Thursday? I've been out here since Sunday around noon. I'm getting hit with rocks, and I actually haven't came up here so far in the time I've been here. So yeah, it's nice to see it.
And also, while canyon riding in Colorado, there's a ton of road bikers. Road bikers do not like motorcycle riders. You know, you kind of hate to see it. You're both on two wheels, but they really do not like motorcycle riders. So you kind of got to give them their space, or they're gonna flip you off, or, you know, get a little bit angry. Me and Jared will probably flip around here in a sec, just because as you get up in elevation in Colorado, it does get extremely cold very quickly. So tomorrow we're actually going to take Jared snowboarding, throw up a couple clips of Jared hitting some crazy jumps on the snowboard.
Six, seven?
But it's going to be a high of 18 degrees tomorrow when we're snowboarding, and today down in Denver, you know, it's 55 degrees. So that's how much it changes when you go up in elevation from about 5,500 feet where we live up to about, you know, 8,000 or 9,000 feet at the base of these mountains. So
I'm sure this stuff is so sick in the summer. You don't got to worry about ice or anything, or at least I don't think you do. I don't know. Oh yeah, that was ice right there. Gonna have to be watching for that when we come back.
But the fact that we're in almost, you know, we're in mid-January and we haven't got much snow in Colorado, it's actually pretty crazy we can even ride these roads.
Hit that thing like a little jump. That'd be sick.
So we're gonna turn left here now, Mr. Jared, so we could flip around. This stuff is what'll take you out, especially if, you know, if you're leaning real far over.
It seems like the Beamer has hand warmers going. Like I definitely feel like the palms of my hands are nice and toasty. The engines on these things get so hot as well. Like the H2, the CBR, the 636, all of them, like I don't really notice much heat around my legs, and even my Gixxer too, like really doesn't get that hot, which is good in the summer. In the winter it's kind of nice because it kind of keeps you warm. But yeah, my Gixxer, it's like almost the equivalent of a 600 in the summer, just not really getting that hot and cooking my legs. But I rode it in back home. I rode Alex's from Texas Superbikes. Ooh, this is a lot of dirt. And I rode that like during the summer, and it was just freaking burning the crap out of my ankles. I don't know what it is with BMWs, but they just get so hot. It's crazy.
I always promote full gear when I ride. I always ride in a full tracksuit, just because I've had, you know, instances where a suit actually really did save me.
Jeez, this road is bad. Hopefully you guys can see all that dirt. You can definitely see it right here. Gotta break the lane into 3 lanes and then maintain one tiny little lane.
Shout out to my buddy Nick for letting him use that. So thank you, Nick. Very appreciated. Jared's doing a good job. He's basically a track pro. Jared's been to the track more than I've been to the track. Because we have these roads in Colorado, I mean, you can see these roads are just absolutely beautiful. They're basically built-in tracks. So I've never gone to the track. These are kind of my tracks. There's a couple tracks in Colorado, High Plains and IMI. But I don't, you know, want to have to put special coolant and stuff in my bikes and, you know, pay $250 for a track day.
Gotta try to remind myself to look through the curve a little more. Kind of bad about just like looking where I'm going, but I feel like I'm under a bunch of pressure because I'm on a bike that's not mine. I want to do some more track days, get more confident out in the curves and stuff.
That's where one of my buddies crashed. His fairings are in the tree we put him in, but that's where a lot of people end up putting their bikes down. But yeah, I mean, more about the business stuff, guys. I mean, like, anything really is possible. You know, I always had very high hopes and ambitions, and I knew that something was going to work, and it took me 13 companies. For some people it may take 1 company, for some people it may take 30, but if you have an idea that you think it's good, it's always worth just at least giving it a try, because if you fail, you're at the same spot you were before, but if it succeeds, you're at a better spot than you were before.
On this straightaway, I think I'm going to give a little wheelie attempt. Let's see, do I really want to do second gear? Alright, first gear. Not too bad. Private road, YouTube, private road.
And, you know, as I said before, you know, business, you don't need to put a lot of money into a business to really make it grow. Social media is more powerful than you guys think. And especially consistent content. And if you can get your product in content without it seeming like an ad, that's kind of the goal, is organic marketing. So if you can find a product that you like and you can incorporate it in, you know, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook videos organically, then you could sell a lot of product, and that's kind of what I did.
Kind of touched the foot brake up top though. I didn't really feel like it did that much. It's not quite as touchy as I wish it was. Alright, let's try it again.
I didn't run a single paid ad until 6 months after starting my company, and I was already selling over 500 backpacks a month without spending a dime on ads. So really important to keep in mind. Yeah, you can tell as you go more up into the canyons, roads are worse and a lot more snow and a lot more shade. So unpredictable conditions. Oh, there Jared goes wheeling the M. I wonder how it feels.
Yeah, not bad. One of the easier bikes that I've wheelied since I've been out here. 636 CBR H2. CBR is kind of difficult. H2 is definitely difficult. And surprisingly, I mean, the 636 is definitely easy to hold, but the hardest part is actually getting it up, because out here with the like lower air pressure because of the elevation, bikes are just way less powerful. So 636 is actually like kind of weak. Way weaker than back home.
Man, it is just crazy being on this H2, you know, knowing how good of a, you know, sun rider Jared is. I mean, guys, just riding this bike is pretty uncomfortable, I'm not gonna lie, in terms of how, in terms of how torquey and heavy this bike is. It's really crazy that Jared just really just threw it up like that. So props to him.
There we go, service reconnected. You still recording?
Yep, I hope so. Yeah, I am.
So what are you feeling like the future of your business is looking like? How do you plan to scale it, you know?
Yeah, so right now, in terms of scaling the business, like Meta ads are super important. So Meta meaning Facebook and Instagram. And I would say most people watching this video probably get like bombarded if you're in the motorcycle community with my ads. And that's kind of the goal, but the goal is to make better ads that are like funny. I don't know if you guys have seen me and Jared's ads, but the goal is to have ads that are funny and make people laugh, but also make them want to buy. Because that's what my product is, you know, it's a fun product, but it also makes you more visible at night while riding a motorcycle. So scaling in terms of the motorcycle community is just to really continue to pump out ads, and we have some really cool changes coming up with our products. For the backpack, we're adding waist straps as well as the chest straps. So we already have the chest straps, but waist straps are really important for motorcycle riders, so the backpack doesn't really move much. Right now it's pretty aerodynamic, but those waist straps will help a little bit. We also have a full water bladder system that we're adding. So we have Nion Gear water bladders that we're adding soon.
Traction control's
traction
on.
Control's off.
Damn it.
But so we're adding a whole water bladder system, Nion Gear water bladders. We have a whole track so that the water bladder fits perfectly, and then it has loops coming down on the side and then a C-clip so that you can carry water while you ride. We're making the straps of the backpack about 3 inches longer to just be more comfortable while you ride. And we've got a couple logos and other things that we're adding as well. So that will be in the near future. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing in terms of scaling and, you know, trying to make the products better so that everyone's happy. Also, something that I've been trying to do is we have a 6-month warranty, so that if anyone's backpack or leg bag, if the screen goes out within 6 months, we replace that for free, just because we're trying to have customers for life and not just kind of like a one-time sale. So we're trying to make sure that the customers are super happy with the products, and we have a full customer service guy as well. So yeah,
I'm gonna catch up in just 1 second.
Oh, you're good. I'm not gonna lie, it may be kind of hard to wheelie on this road because there's not really an express lane.
Yeah, I'm just doing it just in case I get the opportunity.
Oh, nice, that was good. Hell yeah.
Let's go. That's the best one I've had out here. We can exit.
Yeah,
oh, finally I got a freaking coast on it, dude. That has been so difficult.
If you guys have ever ridden with Jared, it is like the most crazy experience ever, because you may think you're good at like street riding a motorcycle, and then this guy comes and just make you look like you've never been on a motorcycle a day in your life.
I mean, really only in the wheelies though. I really kind of still a little bit of a chicken when it comes to going fast, and especially like going through curves.
Yeah, but going fast isn't necessarily like skill, you know? Like I think the skill comes when there's like a situation where you have to avoid someone to not crash. But there's not much skill in riding fast. There's skill in body positioning for like riding canyons and whatnot, but not just riding fast, you know?
Yeah, that's true. But when I see like the skill in your body positioning and stuff, I'm like, damn, like you blow me out of the water with that. I guess that's a little more trainable, like more quickly than a wheelie is, but still, it also takes a different type of mentality to have the confidence of like going through that. But I guess just like anything, it's all repetition.
Yeah, I bet this thing felt kind of crazy in the canyons because it's so upright. It just doesn't feel like a sport bike almost, like in my opinion. Like none of my bikes feel like this. It's so upright.
Yeah, like getting into the H2, you feel like way more seated within, like inside of it. Like I feel like I'm like sitting in a couch, but on the M1000 it's like it feels like you're just on top of the bike. But anyway guys, thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe, go follow Nion, and you know, let us know in the comments what you thought. And
yeah, go follow, go like and subscribe, and follow my boy Jared on all socials. On Instagram it's JAR7D_. Don't forget the underscore. Thank you so much for watching.
Instagram's only the only one I have the underscore on. That's the only one that somehow somebody took my name before I had it. But